So this is the trunk where we're kind of starting. Obviously I've peeled it, but in between these two lines, it's actually like bubbled here. So I have to sand that out, and then we need to refill it because it wasn't fully sanded nicely last year. And then we're going to carbon overlay it. We're hoping that the overlay will prevent all of these. This is from my subsystem. The 10s hit and then cracked all our fiberglass work from last year. So we're gonna try and deal with that for this year. So, grinder did its job. This is where it was cracked. So I wanted to get the crack out of there because obviously you don't want to have it lifted. This is actually bare plastic from this duckbill itself. So what we're gonna do is I've got some kitty hair. We're gonna mix them up, and then we're going to basically fill in this side up to here, and then we're gonna just smooth it out. I'm gonna have to build it up a little bit here because this is like a bump that I don't know what happened, but that it sticks out, so I want to fill it a little bit. Here we go. This is what it looks like right now. I'm going to sand this down, hopefully to the same level as this. This is bare plastic. We're just trying to get rid of that bump that was there last year. So I'm going to sand all of this down to this. And then if we need to, I'll have to fill it with a little bit of Bondo. Can I have that, please? So once I have my level, I will show you how I'm figuring out what height this can be at. So if we put it against here, goober butt. So we put it against the trunk. It's reading like, god damn, it's almost there. Anyway, what I'm doing is just kind of doing this. Okay, so see, it's leaving like a little black mark right here. That's because we use this level to mark things. So there's marker left on the bottom of it. So that spot's a little bit high still. So what I've just been doing is, oh, there's some more right here, there and there. Just sanding that down so that it's not high. And then I'll be able to basically have that level, and then we just like skim coat all the holes in. And it should technically make it all even. And boom. There are our two spots that I needed to fill. You'll see there's a line there. Something was in my scraper. But once that dries up, I'll sand that out. We'll try it with the level, and it should be pretty freaking close. Bondo time. So I ended up doing 3 different coats of fiberglass. So like the original one that did everything. The one that I showed you that had like the 2 stripes. And then in that far corner, I actually added like a tiny bit more because it was still a little bit low. But yeah, now the Bondo's on it. And as you can see, there's no more bump, which is great because that was the goal. Let's see if I can, yeah, no more bump. Okay, so we got just patches on it. So these dry really fast, this red filler Bondo. I'll get that sanded out, and then I think we're actually ready for paint, which would be great. Because my carbon should be here in like 3 days. So yeah, that is looking good. I'm happy with it. I don't know if you can see, but like it's pretty level all the way across, which is great. Got rid of that bump. Yeah, catch you up in a minute. Okay, we're back in the paint booth with my trunk. And the front side is done. As you can see, ta-da! It's So pretty. And then I had to sand the rest of it so that I can paint it black, and I flipped it over and found a giant fiberglass crack. So I sanded that out and filled it, but now we're waiting. Ta-da! Just kidding. That's first coat black. We're gonna spray the whole thing black. This is where we got to with that patch piece. Didn't take much. One layer of the blue Bondo and then one layer of the red. And yeah, once the bottom is all black, I will paint the top and then it should be good to go. The carbon showed up this morning. The trunk has been painted black. I'm so excited. I think we're gonna put a layer on tonight. So once the paint's on, you can usually see like any imperfections a lot better, but that looks pretty freaking good. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, hopefully we will have some carbon on tonight. Okay, the time has come. Jordan is home. The trunk is painted. We're gonna lay some carbon. It is set up. We are mixing resin.
So what we're gonna do is, because we forgot to get jugs, we're using a milk jug, and it's very flimsy, but got the carbon cut right here, and we're gonna wet this out with some resin, front and back. We put bolt holes in, or screws in the wing plate, just so that if for whatever reason resin runs in there, we're not planning on laying carbon in here anyway. There's nothing in the threads. Yeah, we'll sweat it out, and then we're gonna start on this top piece, start laying the carbon on it and working our way up to the edge. The back will already be wet, and hopefully at that point it's a little bit tacky and we can start like actually working it in and around these corners and just making our way down. Fingers crossed it all goes that way. So far so good. Once Megan finishes that side, we'll kind of like just show you what's up, you know? Okay, and we just finished scraping the back. So like as you see, this is indented here, and right here is where it's got like a big plexiglass plate that sits there, so we just have screws sitting in the holes so that we didn't fill the holes with resin, and then we'll cut that chunk out. Yeah. Take this with a grain of salt, like it's still gotta be sanded. Oh, you got massive fingers. Yeah, we gotta fix that. Right there. So when we're getting rid of those, we just dip our finger in the resin with some gloves on. It just gives it a little bit of a slip. It's got an air bubble there, babe.
Do not recommend. It burns real bad. Where?
Right where your finger was back there.
That's a screw.
No, lower. Yeah.
If you're doing this, I would not leave your fingers in the resin for like more than a minute. The resin-filled gloves hurt. Okay.
Have to scrape that one more time. And then we're just gonna scrape it because we put a little extra on there. Resin's only got, or the carbon's only got a certain capacity that can hold for resin. So you just, what we do is we fill it from the one side, well, lay it underneath, lay it on top, and then it soaks through, lay on top, and you end up with this where it just ends up puddling on top. And we will let this dry and then trim the edges. 2 hours of Netflix and chill.
Chill with children.
Chill with children. catch you in a bit.
So, the trunk has issues. We just had some resin runs. We're sanding it out. For comfort, we've set up in the living room. Yeah, I'll show you where we're at. All of those lines, and especially those runs, were on this side too. I have spent lots of time sanding this, but it finally looks smooth. So this is what our night looks like. We're gonna just stand away, and then we'll update you when it's smooth. Okay, so it is midnight, and we have one side of this thing done. As you can tell, it was a process, but it looks really good. Running out of water, but like, yeah, it looks really good. So tomorrow, we have to do that same thing to the back side. And then we have to fade in our edges. And then once that's dry, we can clear coat it. So yeah, it is time to get cleaned up and go have a short nap, I guess. Start again in the morning. We're a little dirty. See you tomorrow. Good morning. We are going to do the back of the trunk today. Here's what we're starting with. Yuck. But yeah, I'm gonna get sanding and show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, it is done. Ta-da! This was a challenge. There was a lot of sanding and a lot of spaces where it was hard to sand. But we're going to bleed it out, let that paint dry. Hopefully it dries fast, and then we can get some clear coat on. What you playing?
Oh, we're playing Marvel.
Marvel.
Lego marble.
That's my dad.
Okay, I'm cleaned up. Not dusty anymore. We're back in the paint booth, and I have painted my edges black. So, this is where we're at. So, obviously, it's not even. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with 600 grit wet sand, just to take kind of the edges, well, not even the edges, just like the overspray off. Of course, we just want it nice thin, just bleed out that carbon. The edges here will be wrapped the mint green. But yeah, it's getting there. All right, sand it out. Good to go. Time for some clear coat. Good morning. We're going to clear coat. We let it dry overnight, let all the black dry overnight, just so that it had like a really good solid layer on it. I've got to put some degreaser on it because it's full of sanding dust right now. And then Jordan will be ready to spray some clear. Hopefully it gets real shiny, real fast. Boom. First test fit. It looks so good. Such a big change to like the overall look of the car. So after 4 cans of paint, 2 times sanding, it's finally glossy. It is going on in like 3 hours, and then we're going for our first drive. Are you excited? After like a full week of working on this trunk, it's done. It's It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. Are you ready? Boom. Yeah. It looks so good. It's such a big change. Hold on, I'll step over here. There you go. You got 0.5. Dang. She's ready to go. She's going for a drive. That ends this video. So yeah, like, comment, let me know what you think. Then don't forget to subscribe, because next week, we're going for a drive. Yeah.